Alright, welcome back YouTube. So today we got a really special guest, a buddy that I've known for a couple years. Unfortunately, he's been in the same situation I have, so without further ado, here's the story. What's your name?
Cody Ashby.
Alright. How many years have you done altogether?
9 years, 6 months, 14 days. Not counting the 73-day violation I just did.
So, let me ask you this. How old are you?
I'm 29.
When did you first start getting locked up?
I first started getting locked up at 17 was the very first time I experienced being incarcerated.
So how did that experience go from, at a young age, what made that snowball effect keep going?
I guess when I was younger, just being around the crowd that I was around, seeing people go in and come home and stuff, like, I guess I kind of thought it was like cool maybe, you know what I mean? Because
yeah,
people would come home and, I mean, everybody be talking to them and basically like celebrities. Respect, and here I'm a young guy, yeah, you get the respect, and sad to say, I always kind of thought or knew that I would eventually end up getting locked up.
But the thing is, no matter how old you are, whatever, someone's always got a story. As long as you listen, you know what I'm saying, it's just taking the information, always taking the information. So, what states have you been locked up in?
West Virginia, Maryland, and New York, and the feds.
Which one would you say was the hardest time?
Hardest time as in what?
I'd say most stressful. Most hostile environment, how about that? We'll say that.
I would say the most hostile environment would probably be the feds, just because of all the political. Feds is very political, like inside. Everything is political, and basically it's very different than being in state. Okay. In New York, I really don't know anything about that because I literally didn't make it to that. Like, I just got locked up there.
In and out.
Yes.
Got them off your shoulder. While in the feds, what would you say would have been the craziest thing happen that you personally saw? Or while you were up there, let's just say that, while you were up there.
I mean, I was actually at a USP, which is the highest level in the feds you can go to besides the ADX.
Okay.
And I was actually at USP Hazleton, which is, if you look it up on the internet, it's in the top 5 most dangerous USPs in the United States. And in 2018 when I was there, we had the most homicides out of state, federal, and regional jails in the whole country.
Was you up there when Whitey Bulger got smoked?
Yes, I was.
So what was the story behind that? Did they ever figure out like what happened, or is it still like a myth?
I mean, it's
hearsay.
I mean, I think I'm a convict at the end of the day, so I'm gonna only say as much as I can say.
If you don't want to answer nothing, you ain't gotta answer nothing.
No, I understand that, but I mean, I still live by that code, even though I'm out on the street. At the end of the day, you can go back any time. No, I don't want to, but it's the truth behind it. But
anything can happen.
By what he was labeled by and all that stuff, and how he was already at 2 dropout yards, which was, them type of yards is no good. And then he comes to a USP,
big daddy prison,
which is one of the most dangerous ones, and I think he was there maybe max 9 hours before his show was over.
He was in Jessup, right? New Jessup.
Yes.
What was the atmosphere there?
You live or die, and there was a lot of shit going on there. It's basically all gangs on that prison. I mean, the SEALs don't run shit.
What was one of the most surprising things that you'd ever seen? Because whenever I was locked up, I'd seen a cell phone once. That was it. Just seen the cell phone one time, and that was like in passing, like it was an infamous thing.
Actually, yes, Jessup, I've seen a lot of them, and me personally, I had 2 of them myself while I was there. Well, it depends on what type you want. I mean, if you want something fancy, like I think they had like back then was like the Galaxies or something. It was real big there. If you wanted something like that, it might have cost you maybe at the most like $500-600. But I just had a regular little flip phone with a camera on it, and it was only $250. You never really see the truth behind it until you're behind them walls yourself.
Cameras off. Now it's
Yes.
just you and that wall and 60 other dudes.
Yes, like them COs on them shows will make it out to be like they're there for the inmates' safety and all that stuff, but
They're not.
behind them walls, an inmate is the lowest.
Bottom of the barrel.
Yes, they don't care about us for nothing. But on them shows, they look at it like we're their whole, like we're everything to them. Like our safety is top priority, which in all reality, it's not.
Did you do a lot of whole time?
Yes. Yes, I did.
Right.
That gives you a lot of time to find your inner self, I must say.
If you don't find yourself, you don't find something, it's gonna start talking.
There's a
back.
song out there that Kevin Gates put out there. It says, what is it? The Walls. What's that song called? The Walls is talking to me or something.
Yeah.
It's very true. Never thought I would sit there and be talking to myself or a wall until you actually experience it. And you're in there for a couple months, and slowly you start figuring out different ways to keep your mind busy.
I feel
Counting
like
the
that.
blocks and the walls
You got
or
to.
different stuff.
You definitely
So,
got
yes.
to. Like I try to tell people, with my personal experience, it's like to stay sane, you kind of have to go insane.
You gotta
Got to.
keep your mind busy, because if not, like
You go crazy.
I've been in a shoe and been in there when people have like literally around holidays and stuff like that. People go in there and they go crazy and hang themselves and multiple different scenarios. You know what I mean? The shoe will definitely
It'll eat
break you
up.
down. Some off the wall stuff just to try to get attention to where they can
Be heard.
be heard, or just to actually have contact with
Anybody.
other human
Anybody.
beings instead of sitting there by themselves. So I've seen a lot of people where they would sit in there and do crazy stuff, or you know what I mean, basically want to create an issue with the COs just so the COs will come in there and basically have contact
Right.
with somebody else. And
Wreck time.
that, it's sad, but that's what people do in there to actually try to help themselves. Prison is, you survive in prison off of violence, I believe. Like, that's how I would think you was, you know what I mean? Especially in the type of prison, if you went to like a higher level security prison, you know what I mean?
It's a little more
You
serious.
gotta try to, violence is what makes you respectful
Respected.
and heard and stuff like that. So you gotta be violent. If you're not, then that's when everything goes
Stuff.
bad. Like, you end up paying to live there, or you know what I mean,
Paying
stuff
not to
can
get
get
beat
worse.
up.
You know what I mean? People in there that men literally will sexually assault another man just because that guy seems like he's weak. You know what I mean? And it's kind of nasty, but anything goes when you're
It
behind
is
them
what it
walls. I mean, you don't gotta be in a gang or nothing, but almost everybody that goes there, you gotta put work in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For your community, your race, your organization, whatever it so may
Recognize.
be. You know what I mean? Everybody must put work in. So it don't matter anything. Like, if you're new to that prison and something comes up, and whoever the person is that runs that unit or the pod or whatever that you're on, if they say, hey, you gotta go do this, you gotta go do this. You know what I mean? If not, then
You
you're gonna be
go.
food, or most time people will check into PC, which is protected custody, and then after that, if you do that, most time your whole
Your name is
the
ruined.
rest of your time that you're incarcerated is all bad. And
Don't
just
check
because
in.
you're in there don't think that the stuff don't travel.
Oh.
Word travels so fast when you're behind them walls that it's crazy.
Oh my God. What was normally your daily activities?
Every day I get up, you know what I mean? Get up, brush my teeth, wash my face, drink my coffee, and when them doors pop, you gotta be suited and booted. Whoever may be, or your workout buddy, work out. I mean, just everyday life. Like, the days in there go by fast, believe it or not. Once you get in a routine, your time's gonna go by so fast. Like, I still can't believe to this day that I did the time that I did, and I'm actually out here now. Like, it's some days it's unbelievable how fast the time has went.
I feel you on my side, and I was very happy, but it can get real stressful.
Absolutely. Well, to an extent, I kind of believe, like, especially if you got a decent little bit of time you got to do. I think some part is kind of easier to, like, separate yourself from the outside. Like, if you don't, I think it's gonna be harder on you, because you can't control what happens out there. When you're in there, you can't control what happens out there. So you gotta separate yourself. Like, yeah, call home and all that stuff, but don't sit on there all the time and call home and ask what's going on, or try to have no girlfriend or none of that stuff. Like, you gotta
cut ties, or unless
Absolutely.
you're gonna be stressed out. Like,
yeah. I worked in the kitchen. I was in the facilities, and I was a plumber.
oh, laying that.
But a lot of the jobs have to do with, there's always a reason for the job. You know what I mean? Like the plumbing, for instance. I was a plumber because I got to move all over the compound. You know what I mean? And when you're moving like that, you can kind of get your hands in a little bit more stuff, so maybe. So that's what I would do, that to where that way I could, yes, make moves. I mean, make moves, make money, whatever the case may be. That's why I was doing what I was doing. Plus, the CEOs would see that you was working, so kind of
Lay off your
take the
back
heat
a
off you a
bit.
little bit. You know what I mean? Hey, yeah, this guy, he's
doing
working,
something.
trying to do what he's supposed to do, staying out the way, which I was in their eyes. But I was also doing what I wanted to do.
I guess there's two motors in a CD player. You break it open somehow. I don't know how they do it. That wasn't my end of it. I'm just the one getting the tattoos. But they break these CD players open and use the motors in them. Somehow wire up some batteries and stuff. Take a spring out of a lock. Guitar string, the clicky pins, the little springs out of those, straighten them out, sharpen them out, and rig it up where it's bzzz. So one little needle, because out here they got like shading needles, they got 14 needles and stuff like that. And there it's a single needle with some soot, the ink from shampoo, some hair grease and stuff, some real sketchy stuff. But I mean, at the end of the day, there's so many awesome artists that's in there. Plus it saves you so much money. But then the whole time comes, you get caught with the tattoo. That, you know, most people aren't going to fear you. You know, most people are not going to fear you, but I just want you to respect me. And you know, I respect you so much just because, you know, you were this dude and now you're still this guy, and you came out, you know, providing for your daughter, you know, providing for your girl, you know, you're helping people out and you're still trying to grow, you're still learning yourself. I mean, how long have you been out now?
Actually, this July coming up, I got out of prison and went to the halfway house July 14th. So this July 14th will actually make it a year that I have been out of prison. I didn't get out of the halfway house until August 5th, but I was on the ankle monitor. And I was on that for a couple months and violated, went back for 73 days and didn't come out until January 5th. And you're just thinking, you can only get out twice a week for a 5-minute shower. No rec, nothing.
So they had y'all was locked down for the whole COVID thing? Y'all were free?
The whole time.
What positives do you feel you learned in prison that can help you achieve more now that you're free?
I mean, honestly, if you can sit in there and you can take them COs being on your ass 24/7, nagging you and trying to downgrade you and make you do stuff to give you more time. And doing that, I think you can do anything out here, honestly. I mean, especially out here, if you do stuff, you work, I mean, you got stuff you can get, you know what I mean? You can make your life better to where and there. That's what I just keep in the back of my head. You know, I mean, if I can do that time and live and make it out and have them COs on me all the time, I can do it out here. I mean, it's stressful, but at the end of the day, I can do it.
Definitely more to come, you know.
This is something new to me, but I kind of like it. I like telling my story.
It's definitely something new for the both of us. You know, this is the first interview I've had, and you know, there's a lot of things we didn't get into just because, you know, time and whatnot. But make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit that bell notification button, so every time I upload, you'll be first notified. But once again, Cody, I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too.
And I hope, you know, that you're successful in everything that you do in life, because, you know, everyone deserves to be happy, man. But
Right.
Thanks again for watching. This is another episode of Life in Prison. You guys take it easy, alright?